Hello everyone, welcome back. I got some really good ones for you today. So today we're going to discuss miners. Okay, we're big fans on this channel of physical gold, physical silver, physical platinum, Bitcoin that we can actually get our hands on. So actual sound money, the commodity. We're big fans of that on this channel, but not so much the miners, the derivatives, the producers, the streamers, the Riot blockchains or the Newmont mining or the Pan American silver, a lot of gold and silver and Bitcoin stocks out there and ETFs that you can buy, but we're not really fans of the miners, and in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys why. So if you were to go on Google, they'll tell you, or ChatGPT, well, miners are volatile. It's capital intensive work. There's geopolitical risk. There's mining risk. They'll give you some pretty cliche answers, and they're true, for the most part, but I want to take you guys down to the bottom of the rabbit hole. I want to tell you the real reason that we don't discuss miners on this channel. Sound money is extremely good to the person holding it, and it's terrible to the person trying to find it. That's why I avoid mining stocks, Bitcoin mining stocks, gold mining stocks. But I like Bitcoin, I like gold. I mean, look at that Bitcoin hanging out right now just over 50,000, or that gold hanging out around 2,000 an ounce. You know why those things are expensive and at that price right now? It's freaking hard to get. It's really hard to get more of that stuff. So it's great for the person that has a chest full of gold coins already. But if you're a mining company, gold's 2,000 an ounce because it's really hard to find that stuff. If I told you, hey, go find me an ounce of gold, like go dig holes until you have found me an ounce of gold, you would come back after a couple weeks and be like, we are way better off just buying this stuff. It's like, duh, So imagine I come up to you and I'm like, hey, I could sell you this 1 ounce gold coin right now. Just give me $2,000, or I'll hold on to the gold coin. And I promise you, if you just give me $1,000, I'll go look for some gold for you, or I'll go look for some Bitcoin for you. Guys, you see the problem here? So I don't like miners. People will say, oh, well, they're leveraged to the price of that commodity. So if gold performs really well or Bitcoin performs really well, generally these things keep up on leverage. They're doing so well. But one of the reasons I buy Bitcoin or gold is lack of counterparty risk. There's no counterparty risk. That's why I buy the physical gold. There's nobody on the other side of that transaction. I take delivery of the physical gold. Now I have the gold. I have the yardstick. So, sound money, it's great when you're holding it, and it's terrible when it comes to inviting counterparty risk into your life. If I gave you $10,000 and you went out and bought a bunch of gold coins and silver bars and platinum coins and maybe a little bit of Bitcoin, and you sat on it, versus put it into a bunch of gold and silver mining companies and Bitcoin miners, let's come back after 10 years and see, let's compare how these portfolios are done. I guarantee the store of value, the actual money, the actual stuff, the valuable stuff, is going to perform a lot better than these companies that are generally small cap, mid cap, not really tech companies. They're really going to struggle. These mining stocks, they come and they go. And it's really hard for these mining stocks to stay alive when it comes to funding your operations. I mean, imagine being the CEO of a mining company and going to JP Morgan and asking them for a loan. You know what they're going to say to you? Gold and silver is a benchmark I compete against. I'd like to see my stock do 14% this year and your gold do 3%. Because if it's opposite, then in real terms, my stock is collapsing against your gold benchmark. Do you think bankers want non-productive clumps of atoms as a benchmark to do 12% per year while they're only doing 3%? Absolutely not. So the financial sector is always going to choke off the miners. Let's say you and I do start a mining company together. Okay, well, we have a great mine engineer, but we have a terrible geologist. Or we have a wonderful geologist, but a terrible accounting department that's stealing tons of our money. Or we have, great equipment, but we just had a mine collapse. These silver companies, guys, they come and they go. And, oftentimes, too, they're in very unstable jurisdictions. So, imagine you and I have a gold mining company in the Congo. You want to go, macheteing through the jungle, dealing with all sorts of, crazy geopolitical risks, like warlords and really unstable and corrupt governments, and you want to go conduct business in that environment? No, thank you. Not to mention, too, mining's bad for the environment, right? So, they're just digging holes, man. which, by the way, Mexico's looks to be banning open pit mining right now, and that plays exactly into this conversation, you guys. Imagine if you and I had a gold and silver mining company instead of a bunch of gold and silver, and we're operating in Mexico, and they ban open pit mining. Well, now that they've banned open pit mining in Mexico, half as much silver is being brought to the market, so the silver price starts to skyrocket, but we're not even allowed to mine the stuff because we've got an open pit mine in Mexico. And it was just some politician that didn't want to see all the gold get pulled out of the ground in his country and sent off to the United States in exchange for dollars, currency, doll hairs, units of debt. So a lot of these countries too, they're just going to want to sit on the gold. They're going to want to leave the gold into the ground. Kind of similar how the United States does this kind of thing all the time. Look at the Grand Canyon. That thing's loaded. It's completely off limits to mining. I'm sure the Grand Canyon is loaded with gold and silver and platinum, but you're not allowed to go get it, and that's just how the government wants it. They don't want you going in there and extracting that stuff. It's perfectly fine sitting in the ground, ultimately on BLM land under their control. They don't want you to come along and start digging holes and taking that out of the ground and putting some in your pocket, So, and let's say we're the best miners together, right? So I'm a geologist, you're a mine engineer. We have the best workers. Like, we're really good at finding gold. We've been doing it our whole lives. Well, do we have good businessmen? Do we have good CEOs? So you see, guys, there's always something that's just destroying a mining company. Or let's say there's a deposit of gold, a very high grade deposit, but we can't get to it. It's on the top of a really tall mountain. So our cost to extract this stuff is going to render it, not even economically feasible. Or maybe there's just this obvious Achilles heel with the strategy, like, well, everything's great and the gold's sitting right there and it's easy to get out of the ground, but there's no water and we need water to run this operation. Not to mention, guys, like the permitting process, right? Like 12, 14 years for permitting, and the government, they're not in any hurry to approve your permits and let you get rich. So you see, guys, there's a lot of reasons that I avoid mining stocks. We don't even really discuss them on this channel, and we never really will, because if you were to give me the option between $10,000 worth of gold coins or $10,000 worth of Newmont mining, I'm going to take the actual gold over the promise to find me more of this valuable stuff any day of the week, guys. So sound money, great to the person holding it, terrible to the person trying to get it, which is why we avoid the miners. We avoid being promised to find more of this stuff, and we simply buy it, take delivery of it, hold it, have it, be a good custodian of it. So I'll always be a big fan of stacking. Well, never say always, but as of right now, I continue to be a big fan of stacking physical gold, physical silver, physical platinum, actual Bitcoin in your wallet with your keys, with your address, and not a fan of any of the other derivatives or tricks to try to wiggle you out of a bunch of money and leave you with no gold or Bitcoin to show for it. So that's really all I got for you guys right now. Hope this makes sense. Drop a comment. What do you guys think of my perspective on it? Do you like miners? Some of these miners are really beaten down now too. So maybe if there ever was a time, even for somebody that doesn't like mining stocks, maybe we're supposed to be taking a look right now. Who knows? But remain fans of physical gold, silver, platinum, actual Bitcoin, staying away from those miners and derivatives. That's really all I got for you guys for right now. Hope this video finds you doing well. Like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. You guys are awesome, and we're just going to keep going, all right? Till next time.